Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to News and Views on Salam Media with Fazlan Franceman Talib. It has just gone 8:39 and today we're talking about the global strike for Rafah, which is obviously taking place today, Friday the 10th of May. And we're joined by Ousman Noor, who is a UK-based human rights barrister, and he's going to unpack for us just what this campaign is about and how people can get involved. Assalamu alaikum, Usman, and welcome to Salam Media.
Alaikum salam. Thank you for having me.
Great. So we've seen a couple of sort of flyers and posters and things going out, sort of just calling on people to halt what they're doing today. Why do you think that call of action, which some people can say is quite a I don't want to say sacrifice, but it's quite a big thing to ask of people. Why do you think that is necessary?
Around the world, we have been witnessing the genocide going on in Palestine. We have been seeing the massacres taking place where women, men, and children who are civilians have been losing their lives through bombings, through snipings. And we have been agonized by the impotence of the global political class at the failure to prevent genocide. The International Court of Justice has ruled that there is a plausible case of genocide. That then requires the international political system to take immediate necessary steps to prevent genocide. And now this week, we have seen even the the furthest red line being crossed by Israel entering Rafah, where the citizens of Gaza have been fleeing to safety in order to escape that bombing, and now they are being bombed. And so we have to unite globally and say, we are going to push back. Israel is committing crimes against humanity. Humanity is now resolved to fight back, and we will do that, and we will succeed. We will show that we are able to collectively mobilize by withdrawing our capital, by withdrawing our labor, by withdrawing our financial transactions, to compel political leaders to take necessary action to prevent the horrifying scenes that we are now seeing emerging from Rafah.
Mm-hmm. Usman, I think you've highlighted just the what we've all seen on our screens, and the horror. I think that anybody that is freedom loving and justice loving in this world kind of just witnesses, and every time you see it, it's as if you just cannot believe it can possibly get worse in terms of the type of actions that is being perpetrated on the Palestinians. That being said, though, in terms of mobilizing the global community, and we've seen that there's been a large outcry, not just about the invasion of Rafah, but obviously about the broader genocide taking place. From your perspective, what is mobilization specifically for today and leading up to today? What has that been like? Have you received lots of support, and what does that also look like?
The call that was made was a spontaneous call and shared on my Twitter and TikTok. But what happened is millions of people have taken that and shared it and decided that that is the right thing to do. And I think that speaks very strongly to the eagerness of people worldwide to take concrete action and to feel involved. And they are involved. One of the consequences of seeing the horrifying scenes from Gaza is a feeling of despair, is a feeling of helplessness. But actually, each of us has power. Each of us can contribute. And one of the key ways that we can contribute is by withdrawing our involvement in the global economy. We have ways in which we perform labor, we give our money, we give transactions via our debit and credit cards. We can say no. And that is a way that we can say, you've crossed our red line, we are going to take action. Individually, maybe that doesn't have an impact, but we can see through the power of social media, through the power of individual activism and community activism, that this can spread. And it has spread. It's spread like wildfire all over the world. I've been so impressed by the individual enthusiasm of people sharing it in all of their networks and taking action and saying, we are going to strike today. And I think that really shows the strong think beyond anger that we now have towards the global political class, that we have said enough is enough. We are not going to tolerate this, and we are going to express that through the strike today. And we will have an impact on the global political space if we take that seriously. If we believe that we can have power, then we can have power.
Mm-hmm. I think something that you mentioned, Brother Ousman, is very valuable, and a valuable lesson for anybody out there is that obviously activism and grassroots activism is part of, probably a keystone part of, the greater solidarity movement with Palestinians generally, but also within the context of this particular genocide. That being said, what do you envision the impact of this will be, both in terms of mobilizing people on the one side, but on the flip side to the political class that you referred to?
Well, two things. Firstly, there is the direct impact of having a strike that should be noticed. It should be we should be able to deliver a shock to the global economic system by doing this. But also, and maybe even more importantly, is the recognition and awareness that is building around the world of our collective ability to resist. We have been seeing students risk their future careers, risk their university education to take concrete action. We saw Aaron Bushnell, a serving member of the US military, to perform self-immolation in protest against the genocide. We can also show that we are with them and take that type of action. So it is this global awareness of our ability to resist against the global political class that are telling us that they can't do anything, but actually we can say that if you're not going to do something, then we will, and compel them to notice us. And the message that I delivered from that video is that the power of the people is greater than the people in power. They serve us. Democracy means the power of the people, and we need to show them through sending a strong message today that we will not tolerate their actions, and we demand immediate action. They can stop selling arms, they can sanction, they can embargo, and if it is required, we can say you need to send in a humanitarian force to protect the people of Gaza, because it is not good enough that we are seeing children being killed today. That shouldn't be happening. A humanitarian force could be sent in, and that's the type of message that we can deliver.
Mm-hmm. So just in terms of, if somebody is a ordinary citizen that is watching this, or that maybe has seen tweets going out, what is it that they can actually do today? And the day has already started, but what is it that they can do to be able to be part of this campaign and to help ensure that the campaign has a maximum impact?
Well, take part in the strike. That requires, well, I understand that not everyone can just withdraw their work, especially if they're only hearing the message today, but the call was to not work today. Secondly, do not buy any goods or services. And thirdly, don't use your debit or credit card. And secondly, make this visible, share it with others, tell others, because it's that act of spreading the message that is actually the most empowering, because it reminds others that we are not isolated, we are not alone, we actually have a global community that are willing to take action, and it requires each individual. But I'm a random activist. I don't have any special status. I'm not a leader. I'm a random person who took that single action of making a video, but every single person has done the same, and they are sharing that through their networks, and that is then having a huge impact because it's visible. You can also change your profile picture, you can share a poster of the event, and I think that gives people confidence, and it empowers us to recognize that we are actually capable of making a change on the global scale.
Mm-hmm. Shukran, thank you so much, Ousman, for joining us. It was very enlightening, and all the best and all success with your campaign today and going forward as well.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. That was Ousman Noor, who is a UK-based human rights activist who literally just decided that perhaps this is something that all of us should be engaged in, that we should be, trying to do something about, and created a video. And that is obviously testament to the grassroots type of campaigning that Palestinian activists are doing all around the world.